In a small village surrounded by whispering woods and winding rivers, there lived a boy named Harin. He was clever, perhaps too clever. When he broke something, he blamed his little sister. When he forgot his homework, he told his teacher his grandmother had fallen ill. He lied often not out of malice, but because it was easier. People still liked him. After all, he smiled often and talked sweetly. But slowly, something began to feel heavy inside him, like he was carrying too many masks, switching them to fit the moment. One day, while exploring an old hill behind his school, Harin stumbled upon a forgotten stone house. The roof had caved in, vines twisted through the windows, and inside, dust floated like ghosts. In the center of the main room stood an object covered by a faded cloth. Curious, Harin pulled the cloth away and revealed a tall, oval mirror's frame carved with swirling patterns and words in a language he couldn't read. He looked into it and blinked. The reflection staring back wasn't quite right. The eyes were his, but tired. His mouth was frowning, and behind him the mirror showed shadows moving, even though the room was still. "What is this?" he muttered. A voice echoed not from outside, but inside his mind. "This is the mirror of secrets. Speak truth, and I will show you who you truly are." Harin laughed nervously. "All right then, I'm a good person." The reflection didn't move. "I'm always honest," he added more forcefully. The mirror darkened. Suddenly, his own reflection looked away as if ashamed. Harin backed up. "That's not right. I am good," the voice returned. "Then, say what is true." He hesitated. I lied to my teacher about my homework." The mirror shimmered slightly. His reflection looked back at him, but still sad. "I broke the neighbor's window and blamed the dog." The shadows behind him shrank. "I tell people what they want to hear, even if it's not real." The mirror cleared. And then, for the first time, the reflection smiled gently. Not perfectly, but honestly. From that day on, Harin returned to the mirror often. Not because he had more lies to tell, but because he wanted to learn how to be truthful first with himself, then with others. He began to notice changes. When he told his teacher the real reason his homework was late, she nodded and helped him catch up. When he apologized to his sister for blaming her, she hugged him tightly. And when he admitted to the neighbor what he'd done, the man simply said, "Thank you for being brave." The mirror? He didn't need it anymore. Because the more Harin practiced honesty, the more his real reflection, his real self felt like enough. Years later, long after the stone house had crumbled to dust and the mirror vanished into legend, people remembered Harin not for being clever, but for being someone they could trust. And Harin remembered the mirror's final whisper. Truth is not always easy, but it is always freeing. Moral of story is that only by facing the truth can we truly see ourselves.